Welcome to the Hyper Guy Motivational Podcast. Thank you for joining me today. I have a wonderful guest. I ran into her. She's a fitness enthusiast and she does a million other things, but I ran into her and she had so much energy. Miss Natalie
Hello.
Goldstone. Thank you for being here, Natalie. I appreciate you.
Thank you for inviting me.
So I get to talk a little bit about you. I'm gonna do a little bit more introduction on you. You are, in my view, you're a fitness influencer. You're like your Instagram is blowing up. I think you know that. But what I find really amazing about it is that that's such a small part of who you are. I don't know how you manage it all. But you are also in dental school.
I am, yes.
And I don't even know how. I mean, it's hard enough for me in a doctoral program to manage working and everything. I don't know how you do it. So we're gonna go into this. I think you're a real inspiration.
Thank
Um,
you.
you're when you're working out in the gym. A lot of times when you work out in the gym, you see people that are in amazing shape, but they're really not welcoming. They kind of give everybody a very serious look, and they're not really welcoming. But you're the opposite. You're really, really the opposite. You're very kind to other people, and people are asking you questions. And I guess what I want to ask you first of all is like, where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised up in Northern California, so a little bit different than SoCal, but I love them both, just as
So,
much.
so what was it like growing up in Northern California, and like, where did you get your inspiration to, pursue your academics and pursue the physical part of yourself as well?
Well, as for academics, I've always been, I try to be the star student, A+ student. I've always been super focused with school and definitely developed a lot of discipline just from school. But I also grew up playing sports as well. So I started playing basketball in 5th grade, and continued that all throughout high school. And in addition to a handful of other sports here and there, then I pursued rugby in college, which was extraordinary. Um, but I played sports all throughout school basically. And it wasn't until COVID happened right in the spring of my first year of college. It wasn't until COVID where I really started to pursue fitness seriously, because I never really touched a gym, been in a gym prior to COVID, because I was playing sports. And so I didn't really necessarily need to. Anyways, COVID happened, sports shut down. And as, many other people also did during this time, uh, took it upon themselves to start their fitness journey. So my fitness journey definitely started in COVID, started at home, calisthenics. Then I bought myself a kettlebell. So I started doing a little more CrossFit, getting into that. And then I started going to the gym with my older brother about a year and a half, probably into COVID. So because, everything was shut down. So definitely COVID was the start of my fitness journey. And I've stuck with it since then. So, and it's really changed my life for the better. I've met so many people through it and made so many friends, and and I tell them all the time, I'm just so grateful to have met the people I have met. It's amazing.
So Natalie, I guess like I said, you have so much energy and so much drive. I mean, for you, getting into dental school is, needless to say, it's such a difficult journey to get into any med school, especially graduate schools are so competitive. You get in and you got into USC, one of the best dental schools in the country. So I guess one of the questions I have for you is, growing up, what do you think gave you this motivation? Why are you so driven?
That's a very great question. I mean, it definitely has to do with my mom and definitely all her, lectures to us kids, me and my siblings, on never giving up and always doing your best, et cetera, et cetera. But, that can only take you so far. Like, you can either take the advice someone gives you or take it and, let it guide you, and also put forth your own efforts to, just build this plethora of habits. And so I definitely think the foundation is my mom for sure. But I think deep rooted within me, I've always been so so determined to do whatever it is that I want to do or know that I have to do. And I think that determination has helped me, through all the ups and downs and the hardships and at times when I did want to give up. But of course, I always preach to everybody else I meet as well to never give up. And it's just so true. I mean, think about what happens if you do give up. You don't know the answer to, the path you're on, the journey you're on. And so I definitely think it's just something that's been rooted within me, of that determination that has taken me this far in life.
Can you think of a time when you might have had some doubts or about your journey and how you got through it? Was there any specific steps or things that you did to get through to get through those hard, difficult times?
Definitely. Getting into dental school, that whole year leading up to, was the most stressful year I have ever endured. Um, because it's about you're building your resume up until then regarding your grades with school. You're trying to be the top of the top. You're also trying to be well-rounded, sports, community service, etc. And in addition to taking the dental admissions test, similar to the MCAT for med school, taking that exam to get in, you also want to score well on that. And it's just all this accumulation of things. I had to take my test a few times, and it definitely, after the first and second, I was really starting to doubt myself, which doesn't come very often, but I was really, wondering, am I going to get into dental school? And it's hard because, those who know you, either family, friends, they're all, cheering you on, rooting for you. You're going to get in, who wouldn't want you, kind of thing. And, as amazing it is to hear that at that time, it was not helping for sure, because I was very logical, and I was thinking logically, and I'm just, thinking about, well, if my scores aren't that good, like, schools aren't gonna accept me. And, I was just playing that through in my head, and I was really starting to doubt myself. And after my third attempt, I did better for sure, but, I was still on the fence of things. And so I started to plan, if I weren't to get in, what would my life look like if I did not get into dental school this year? What would I do? And I'm a very logical person. I like to plan. I like to, know, I guess, what's going to happen. And so I just started to create a backup plan. What would happen if I didn't get in? Which kind of, eased my feelings in a way. It was still difficult to, I guess, even consider, because, I don't want to knock it in. I don't want to take a gap year. My goal was to get in and get out, and I think, I don't know, what helped me through that, definitely, I mean, friends and family definitely supported me through that time. And it was just, a whirlwind of emotions, but they definitely kept me on my feet, encouraged me every step of the way. But, I guess I had to take some initiative myself, and, put things in perspective, calm myself down. It's not the end of the world if I didn't get in, even though I want this so badly, but, just trying to calm myself, ease myself, try not to worry, try not to think too much about it. I wouldn't consider myself an overthinker, but, that was definitely testing my limits. And I don't know, at the end of the day, I think having a great support system really, really helped. And here I am now. I got in.
So what was
Yeah.
what was your emotions like when you found out that you got in?
Oh my gosh. It was, I love this story. Okay. So excited. So I graduated college, still did not know where I was going, which definitely made me very uneasy. I graduated, everybody knows where they're going but me. And so I went home after college, and I was enjoying my summer break. I would go on walks every day around this park. And I was walking one day and I received an email from USC, and I pulled out my phone and the first thing it said was congratulations. And I stopped dead in my tracks. I started screaming. People thought I was crazy, I'm sure, because I called my parents immediately. Thank God they picked up. They were both at home, both in meetings, I think, in our office. And I called them. My mom picked up. First thing I said, I got into USC. And they start screaming. And even their coworkers are like, yay. And it was so exciting. But I was on a walk after graduating college, got that email, and it was the greatest feeling ever. I had a little hop in my step on the way back to my car. Oh my God, I was over the moon. And it was so surreal. I'd go to sleep, I'd wake up, and did that even happen? I had to check myself so many times because it was so surreal. I was just in awe. And, I think with having gone through that long application process and finally getting in, it really puts things in perspective. And every day I'm just grateful. Every day I'm like, wow, I did it, and I'm in a place that is so fun. I'm loving it down here. I've made so many friends, and just every day I step back and it's like, wow, I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed. And I'm so just grateful that I even have the opportunity to be here, and it's amazing. So I love that. I love that story.
Well, let me ask you this, Natalie.
Yeah.
How did you start? How did you start? How did you start becoming an influencer? What made you realize, hey, I can do this? And you started to build up your likes, and you started to build up all around fitness, and just how much energy you have. And you know what? Before I go on, I want you to quickly, before you answer that, is to give your Instagram, because I'm sure I want some folks. I want some folks to check out your Instagram when they're listening to this interview. But
Sure.
so how did you build it, and what made you think about, you know what, I'm going to build this and see what happens?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, first, to start off, my Instagram is Gains by Goldstone. And I started it during COVID. And it's around the time I started jump roping. And so I mainly posted jump rope videos just as a personal page, I guess, for myself to record my progress. And so I didn't really think anything of it. It was, if other people wanted to follow, sure. I didn't really care. So it became a little journal to document my progress with jump rope and then like some other fitness stuff. Then as got a little into COVID, past COVID, I'd continue to post. I came here for school. Things started to pick up because I was posting more consistently, especially with jumper. I was just like jumper video every day. And that kind of made it easy for me to post every day because I literally jump rope every day. And I loved it. But it wasn't until I had a jump rope meetup here. And for those who don't know, there's a jump rope community. Okay. That's something I didn't know before moving down here. But we get together on a weekend, on one day, and we just hang out outside. We jump around. We film content. We have fun together. We learn new tricks, new skills. It's a great time. So I went to my first meetup, and I was talking to someone, and she gave me some tips on content creation because I wasn't really into editing. I just would film through Instagram and post. And so I took some tips. I started messing around. I had one little viral-ish video that really helped boost my following. And then, so from that, I was like, maybe this is something. So that kind of motivated me. It wasn't it was only like, it was like a little over 200,000 views. That was like my first viral video that kind of put that little hop in my step. Then I got an editing app and I started to learn how to edit my videos better to have that, greater quality, and things just started to snowball. And then I would post consistently, which I think was very important. But it was an accumulation of posting consistently and really leveling up my editing skills, which I have a blast doing. Like, even aside from posting on Instagram, I just love editing my videos, and I love like seeing what I created. And I'll just watch my own videos over and over. I don't care who it is. It just puts a smile on my face. And other people have told me themselves that when they see my videos, it also puts a smile on their face. And that's honestly the greatest compliment ever, because that's what I want to do. I'm not hyper focused on that, but I just, as a happy, positive person myself, the fact that someone else feels that is amazing to me, and it's really inspiring. And so I guess that's sort of what gave me motivation to keep going. Is that one viral video, a little discussion with someone about some editing, and I fell in love with the content creation itself and continued to post, not for others but for me. And I think if I were to give someone advice on, content creation, I guess, or starting a page like that, I would say definitely create content for yourself. Don't hyper focus on your followers and your likes. Like, that doesn't matter. If you enjoy what you're making, what you're posting, then that should be all that matters, because you enjoy it and you know yourself and you're having fun with it. And then the rest will come. And that was my mentality with my Instagram from the beginning till now. Like, it's cool, getting followers is really cool. Getting a lot of views is really cool. That is for sure. But at the end of the day, if I don't get a follower, it doesn't upset me. If I get all the hate comments, I don't care, because I like what I'm creating, and I will watch my own video over and over because I like it and it makes me happy. So
Natalie, let me ask you, what kind of, when you say jump rope, I think some people are wondering, well, what kind of jump rope are you talking about? Are we talking about like skipping? Like, what specifically, what do you mean by the jump rope?
Yeah, I know, it's funny. I tell people I jump rope and they're probably thinking something of like beaded ropes in kindergarten or something. But the style I personally do with jump rope is footwork. So I have a PVC rope, and it's just a little quicker. And I like to create dances and routines to songs. And I'll jump rope even if I'm not filming. I'll have music playing in my ears, and I'll be jumping to the song, doing different styles of footwork and really matching the beat of my steps to that tempo of the song. And that's what really makes it so fun, in my opinion. Like, you can have a blast with that. But there's also other people who, there's a bunch of different styles of jump rope, which I've come to learn after, being in this community for a little while now. I do footwork and speed, but a lot of people do other crazy tricks that I am not very good at, such as releases and crazy jumps and twirling it around. And I don't even know, I don't really practice that very much, so can't have much of a say. But there is a style to jump rope, and this is the one I have adopted ever since I started, and that's what I continued with and what I love. So that's what that is. It's a dance, is what I tell people.
And your fitness level is amazing. And I guess what I'm going to ask you after that is, what is your typical training day like? And Natalie, you're in just such great shape. I think a lot of people understand. And I think one of the things that, I've always been into fitness my whole life and working out. And I'm really into total body fitness, being able to run and being able to do a bunch of push-ups and pull-ups and be able to, and flexibility and, all those kind of things. So the question I have for you is, you're in fantastic shape.
Thank you.
And I think one of the things that you said to me was, well, I said, hey, you're in absolutely amazing shape. I admire every time I went to the gym, I'd see you in there working out harder than everybody else. So the question I have for you is, what kind of routine do you do? What kind of a routine do you do each day? And what would you recommend somebody starting off as a female starting off getting into the gym, and having to deal with and not worry about like body shaming?
Yeah, great question. Okay, so my starting with my routine, I do a traditional, I guess, bodybuilding split, as you would call it. So Monday through Friday, push, pull, legs, push, pull. Then I have a rest on Saturday, and then I'm in a gymnastics club. I take adult gymnastics classes, so that's on Sunday. So I have one rest day on Saturday, gymnastics Sunday, but I'm in the gym 5 days a week. So that's my training regimen. And as for my advice for other women wanting to get started in the gym, I would definitely say pick up those heavy weights, because don't be afraid of, getting bulky, because I hear that a lot. And that takes a lot of hard work, one, a lot of time, and there's so many different factors that play into that. So someone would look at me and go, oh, that's a little too much bulk, I want to stay little and feminine and whatever. Totally fine. But the reason why I've put on so much mass is because I train freaking till failure. I train hard. I push those last reps. I eat right. So I eat a lot of protein, which is what your muscles need to properly recover and to build. I sleep enough, get enough sleep. And I mean, genetics definitely plays a very good role, but it's an accumulation of so many things that I don't want someone to be afraid of getting bulky, of just from lifting a weight. But, I hear a lot of women say they want to tone. And really, toning is building muscle, because, or, a body recomp where you can turn your fat into muscle, but that doesn't necessarily mean that comes with a bulk. And so, what do you need to build muscle? Lift those heavy weights. You gotta put that stress on your muscles if you want to build muscle. But eating right is super important. So really hitting your protein goal. But that would definitely be probably the top advice I would give someone, is to not be afraid to lift heavy weights. And you don't have to do cardio every day. It's okay. Even though I try to do cardio every day, but it's more so with the focus of heart health, because I love to stay balanced in all regards. But when I first started, it was like, we can have a negative connotation with doing cardio. And so have the right mentality towards cardio, I would say. Do it not because you want to lose weight, but because you want to have a healthy heart or something. So those would be my tips for someone.
Yeah, and one of the things, and I'm sure you know about this, and I know a lot of people don't they don't understand that it's so important, especially as you get older, to make sure that you lift weights, because
Yeah.
you lose bone density as you get older,
Density.
and,
Yes.
and especially women more than men. So
Yes.
so with that in mind, if, hey, you know what, I want to give my sister advice on lifting. He says, well, I don't want to lift heavy. What do you mean by lifting weights? What does that mean? Because obviously, Natalie, they don't. It means something different to you. When I say, Natalie, lifting weights, you're thinking, you're going to lift much more than many guys I know, uh, as well as many women that I know.
Yeah.
So the question I have for you is, where do you start? Like, what do I start? Do you mean, like, is 5 pounds okay? Is 1 pound okay? Like,
Right.
how do I start? What do I start with?
Well, to as a side note, you were saying, bone density decreases as you get older. So true. But fun fact, jump rope improves your bone density. So if anybody's, thinking about getting into a little jumpy, so fun. But yes, jump rope is great for bone density. And then to your question, you want to choose a weight that challenges you. Um, I tell people try to shoot for 8 to 12 reps. It honestly depends on your goals. It depends on if you want to focus on mostly strength, which means increasing that weight, quicker. So that's probably in the 6 to 8 rep range. 3 sets of 6 to 8 is like a general rule, give or take. When I started, I did 3 sets of 8 to 12. So that's usually what I just recommend. But you want to choose a weight where those last reps are a struggle. It will challenge you not only physically but mentally, because there are definitely times on my last rep where physically it does not look like it is going up. And I could just stop there and call it. But in my mind, I kept going and I pushed through that, and eventually they got up. So you definitely want to challenge yourself. You want those last reps to be a struggle, but you want to still hit your target rep range. So if you are hitting less than 8 reps, let's say, for all 3 exercises, then maybe it's too heavy. But only the person will be able to tell. And I think it's super important, though, that you have to push yourself, because I have a friend who will pick up weights, do her sets, and I'm like, you can go heavier. But they're scared to. And I'm like, so I, as the gym buddy I am, I grab that weight and I hand it to him. And at first it's a struggle, but then I give a little pep talk and talk about mental strength, blah, blah, blah. And then they could get it up, just fine, with a struggle, of course, but they're pushing heavier weight. And I think it's really important to, when you're starting your fitness journey, it's going to be definitely a physical journey, but also in my eyes, it's a mental journey as well. And I think that is just as important to work on in addition to your physical journey, because mental strength will take you so far.
And let me ask you this.
Yeah.
One of the things that we talked about in our short discussion was, is some people on, we all know social media. You have some people that are very supportive, which I think most people are, but you always have naysayers.
Yeah.
And with somebody with a following of your size, I'm sure you get a lot of naysayers. And how do you deal with those negative comments? Do you block them out? I know Joe Rogan says, well, I don't even look at them. And sometimes I don't even think he has people can comment. So how do you deal with it? Because I remember when I was talking to you about it, you were basically saying, it's not a problem, Fig. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely, I'm definitely in such a great headspace now. Whereas as someone starting their Instagram, 3-4 years ago during COVID, if I receive hate comments, I think I would react to it way differently than now. Now I could care less. And that's for several reasons. One, they don't know me. I get a lot of people commenting, a lot of assumptions about me, a lot of nasty things, but they don't know me. I know myself, and I know my friends and family know myself, and that's false. So why am I going to cry or get upset over a comment that's false? I know what's true because I am me and you don't know me. Yeah, I get a lot of comments. And to go back to that, I just think it's funny how people see a video online and then start creating so many assumptions about you. I think it's mind-blowing that people even take the time out of their day to comment such negativity. But it's kind of shocking, kind of hilarious, kind of sad though for them. I guess they have nothing better to do. But yeah, so I know myself, which I think is most important thing. You need to know yourself, and be confident in that regard. And I get a lot of hate or comments about how I'm probably on drugs or steroids or enhancements, whatever, because apparently a woman can't achieve such body muscle mass and whatever. But I think that's hilarious because they, couple things, probably don't know the science behind building muscle. And two, they probably have no idea what a women on enhancements looks like because, I mean, one key factor is the voice, right? But my voice is like a freaking chipmunk, and I think that's hilarious. It's just like a side note. I think it's so funny. But yeah, they just, I mean, in my eyes, they just lack the knowledge in that department, and that is not my fault. And so I think, it comes down to I know myself, and that's all that matters. I know I have a great support system. And again, I don't create content for you. I do it because I love it. I have so much fun. And I do have a lot of great followers who also enjoy my content. So yeah, it's going to be, for those who enjoy it. It's not going to be for the haters because they apparently have nothing better to do than to hate on someone who's enjoying their life, having fun, and is in the best place in her life thus far.
Now, how do you balance? I just, I guess, I work full time and, and have a lot of other things going on in a graduate program as well, doctor program. And I guess, and you're in a very challenging program as well. How do you balance managing? Because I know you probably have some sponsorship stuff as well. So how do you balance the Instagram, the Instagram, your Instagram, growing your Instagram, um, that part of your life, and you have your jump roping part of your life, and your and your actual workouts. So I mean, sometimes I don't think people understand there's Instagram, and producing that takes time, and then because you're having to think about content and creating content, and and then the production part of that, and then you're actually putting in the time that you need to do your training to keep a certain fitness level. And by the way, that one of the first comments I made to you was when you made that comment was, I can tell you weren't using. I've been around people that have been Olympic athletes as well, and I can tell you right now, I can tell the difference because I actually have friends that are bodybuilders as well. You can tell the difference when you see somebody. And to be honest with you, if a bodybuilder feels like they need to do that, and that's a totally different competitive world.
Yeah, and I mean, and I'm not hating on anybody
Yes,
who does. I just don't myself.
right,
So
right. And they know the risk to that. There's side effects and there's risks to that. And I'm not gonna critique them for doing it because that takes a level of skill and a dedication
mhm.
that's different than what I'm relating to.
Yeah.
But how do you balance? And then you're in dental school. Like most of my friends in dental school have a hard time squeezing a workout. For me, I give myself 1 hour a day, 6 days a week, and that could be whether I'm lifting or swimming or running.
Yeah.
Every day, I give myself that 1 hour. How do you balance all this?
I love that question as well because it's something I like to share with others to maybe help them as well with balancing. And I mean, my gym sessions can be like 2 to 2.5 hours. I just love it so much. I'm just in there forever. But so an average gym session is definitely 2 hours. Um, my life motto, I think, is I make time for what I love. And I love a lot of things. I love gymnastics. I love jump rope. I love content creation. I love art. I love piano. I love so many things. Hanging out with friends, And I think it's important to schedule time for the things you love as you would a homework assignment or, studying. So you can time block your day, or something to plan out, okay, I have class here or, whatever it is here. And then I'm going to study for this class or finish this assignment, and then gym here, and then study again. And then this, that, like plan it as you would school. And this can apply to not only people at my graduate level, but, high schoolers as well, or middle schoolers. Plan the things as you would your school and assignments and studying. And if in time management for sure, because I know I don't watch a lot of TV or Netflix or whatever, but I know a lot of people are super into TVs and shows and naps or whatever it is. Totally fine. I just don't, because I like to be doing something. So I don't put my time towards watching TV and movies, because I'd rather be doing something else I really love. And that takes a lot of time out of the day, watching an hour or 2 hours of something, right? So I sacrifice that, throw that out, and I just put something else, in replace of that. And so I think there's definitely sacrifice involved with whatever that may be for someone. But it's about planning accordingly. Planning ahead is super important. So there's been days where I would have a jump rope meetup on a Saturday, and those go all day. And so I need to make sure, if I have things that are due that day or due Sunday, that I have them done ahead of time, because last thing I want to do after coming back from jumping all day is work. I'm tired, I'm dead, I'm ready to sleep. So I plan ahead and get it done before. And I like to, if it's assignment based, if you're overwhelmed with all these assignments you have to do, write them all out on a piece of paper. And then in your planner, hopefully you have a planner, in your weekly view, start to separate all those tasks by days. And so you're going to divide it, day by day. So then every day you only have a little bit to do. And that's something that's helped me greatly, because if I just do that little bit every day, I will stay on track. I will get my assignments done, and I have lots of time for what I love. And I think that's super, super important to, make time for that, because it's so easy to say, oh, I can't, I don't have time. I hear that a lot, and that's definitely valid, 100%. I know some people are very busy, or just the last thing they want to do is use energy toward, whatever it is, right? But I always ask them, well, do you have time, or do you not want to make the time? Because there's a difference. And I think you just have to be willing to put in the sacrifice and really time manage and stay focused to get what you need to done to have fun. So that's what I do.
And now I'm gonna have to say this because I'm a big acai person.
Yes.
So I have to ask you, what is your favorite at-home acai bowl? You got to give us some tips here.
So good. I think I had one of the best ones I've made not too long ago. So I love to get the acai packets from Trader Joe's, but you can get acai packets anywhere. That's just where I shop. So acai packets, frozen banana, frozen blueberries and strawberries. Frozen is super important. Got to keep that ice cream consistency. So I throw those in a blender. I also like to add PB2 powder to it as well. I used to do peanut butter. You can do any nut butter. I just like to put some PB2 in there. I also put collagen in there. And I like to blend it with a little bit of almond milk or oat milk, whatever I have on hand. The oat milk, I've noticed, makes it really creamy. But a little bit of milk, not too much, because you want to keep it solid. I also like to add 2 dates, because I love dates. Adds a little bit of sweetness. So I'll blend that up. And then on top, I love to add mini chocolate chips, fresh strawberries, honey drizzle, or agave, but usually I do honey mostly. I haven't in a while, but I used to add goji berries on top. And granola. I Love granola. So granola of choice, put some on there. And then if you want, you can add a little drizzle of your favorite nut butter. Recently, I did sunflower seed butter. Oh my God, I forgot how good that butter is, but I did a little drizzle of that on top. Chef's kiss. So good.
Natalie, you're gonna have to put that on your IG sometime. Your how you make it. But
That's
yeah,
true.
I always put chia seeds on there too. I love the peanut butter. I love all the stuff that you're talking about. It's funny because what I'm going to tell people is Natalie is probably making at home a 15 to $16 bowl of acai, and she's
Oh, I'm
doing
sure 20.
yeah,
It's
and
massive.
right,
It's like
and you're right, and you're doing it way cheaper than if you go buy
wait,
it at a store. So you know what,
100%.
you could go to. I think Trader Joe's sell the cheapest $3.99, but you can get it at other stores where it's usually like
Yeah.
$5.
I'm honestly curious on what the cost breakdown would be. I'm sure it would be under $5 for my bowl.
Yeah. I think that the ones you're making is, are infinitely better and better for you. It's
Oh yeah.
because Trader Joe's is an unsweetened organic. So
Yeah.
if you ever tasted acai without what they call guaraná in it, which is if you go to the regular stores, it has guaraná, which is it's a sweetener. But if you get the ones at Trader Joe's, there's no sweetener. You have to
Yeah.
sweeten it yourself with honey and some other stuff. But
Yeah.
this is a acai. This is a sidebar acai question.
This is now an
Question.
acai podcast. Thank you
Um,
for coming.
so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I guess so. One of the, I guess, some advice I want to solicit from you as well is, we have people from all ages that listen to the podcast. If I'm 80 years old, Natalie, what can I do to stay in shape? You're young, you're hitting
Yeah.
the weights. What do I do to stay active? I'm 80.
Yeah.
And I can't move as much as you. I can't. I used to be a good jump roper. I'm not anymore. So, what advice do you give someone that's older or someone that's middle aged? Or
Yeah. I'd love to help. So there's a couple things I would do. If you are physically able to, I would start walking. I think walking is super important. It's low impact. You can do it, pretty much everywhere. So walking super important. Any sort of mobility or yoga-esque, type movements, exercises, any mobility thing is going to be great because it's low impact, it's easier on your joints, and I've seen it transform lives of, keeping that flexibility and mobility. And a little plug here, my friend Slush, she sells flow ropes. So it's not a jump rope, but it's this thicker rope and you flow with it. And so you're just swinging it side to side, and you can stretch with it. You can do so many things. And I think that is, and I've seen people of all ages flow, especially the older population. And I think it's amazing because, someone with injuries or, you know, someone of older age can do it. And I think it's so freaking cool. It's so accessible to people. It's just a rope and you can take it anywhere. I can do it in my living room, or I could take it out to a park and flow, and you can do it anywhere. And I think, tying back to mobility is super important. And also, getting those steps in. So I think those would be my top tips.
where would they get a hold of that flow rope? You talked about it. You said you had a friend that's well,
Yeah,
you can plug that.
she has an Instagram. It's called Slush Ropes. And yeah, she sells flow ropes. She also sells jump ropes as well. But flow ropes is what her brand was founded on.
So here's my fun part.
A friend of mine through the jump rope community. So super cool.
So now I get to ask the fun part. So, one other food question. I almost forgot this. Uh, do you do overnight oats? And what do you think of overnight oats?
Okay, I used to do overnight oats, especially on days where I had an early lab or something where I'm, getting up super early and don't want to have to take too much time to cook something for breakfast. So I would do some overnight oats. But okay, maybe unpopular opinion, I don't know. I've stopped eating oatmeal because it does not keep me full as long as I want it to, because it's just a fat carb, I guess. It's just, oats. And you can add protein powder and you can add all these protein things, but I've done that. But even still, I'm not as full as I would like, even though I've made some bomb oats before. So I'm all for it. It's quick, it's convenient. You can make some really cool recipes. But for me, I actually don't eat oatmeal anymore for that purpose of I don't stay full, and I like to get enough protein with, eggs or, something else for breakfast. So that's my take. But I have definitely made some bomb oat recipes before.
Okay, so here's my rapid fire fun questions. You're here.
Okay,
You ready for it? And I know
sure.
you're up for these. Favorite go-to music for a workout?
Oh, um, that's a very good question. I love, it has to be upbeat. I love hip hop, rap, pop. I also have a lot of remixes, or I not EDM, but um, remixes of songs from a DJ. I don't know. I wouldn't consider it EDM, but I don't know how I would designate that.
I know what you're talking about. Yes, and
Yeah,
I
but
get it is kind of DDM, but
yeah, it's
but
like
they do these really good hype mixes of
yeah, yeah. I don't
other
know how to
popular.
describe it, but I love that stuff for jump rope. I need something that's fast because I'm trying to jump to it, so I need it to be, up to my speed. Um, but it could vary. Sometimes if I'm lifting weights, maybe I'm not listening to that remixy EDM-ish type stuff, but maybe it's a hip hop or rap or pop that gets me, jamming to the song, or it could be something as simple as like a Chris Brown or Usher throwback, or pop-ish, and I'm like, woo. Sometimes it just depends what I'm feeling for the day, but that's usually that touches all the bases.
Favorite movie genre?
Movie genre? I love action movies, so that can be Marvel, DC, love that. Or John Wick, love that. Anything that's just action packed, guns, shooting. I love
Okay, if you
that.
could meet one person in your life, who would it be, and what would you say to him or her?
Oh my God, if I could meet someone.
It doesn't matter. It could be any time in history. It could be any time any human that's existed.
Okay, I'm gonna stay on uh the fitness route right now, and I'm gonna say The Rock. Um, because I think he just has a heart of gold, and his work ethic is amazing. He's in the gym 3 a.m., getting his workout in before his kids wake up, and then he's very involved with his kids. I think he's just he's just so fun and cool, and he's very generous, and yeah, I'd love to. Actually, I forgot about this. Oh my gosh. My one of my friends I made from college nicknamed me Pebbles, Pebs for short, because I'm the smaller version of The Rock. And so he started calling me Pebbles, and I just love that so much. So yeah, I would say The Rock probably.
I could see that. I totally see that.
Yeah,
And you have great energy too. So
you.
okay, favorite guilty pleasure food wise.
Ice cream.
What kind?
Yeah. Oh God, I don't know. Okay, my favorite ice cream is Rocky Road, but Trader Joe's has had this cookie. Their cookie dough ice cream is very amazing. But I have to say, I do love a rocky road. A mint chip, now that it's hot and it's summer, I love a refreshing mint chip. Um, but I think ice cream is definitely guilty.
Okay, Natalie, this is going to be a tough question. I,
Okay.
I kind of have an idea what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask it anyway. When you're no longer on this earth, we're all on the earth such a short time. So what do you want to be remembered for when you're no longer on, no longer here?
Oh yeah, you probably do know what I'm gonna say. um, just someone that has been a constant light, not only you know for just like how I exude, positivity and happiness, but if I could be that light for other people, that's so cool. And I've been told such great compliments before on, how I've helped them with XYZ or whatever it is. But I would love to be that light for other people and that driving force of positivity and happiness, and that you can lead this life as well. Um, it's about perspective. It's about how you look at the world. Like, perspective is a very big thing because, uh, you can take a negative situation and be in the dumps about it, and just sit in that rut forever. Or you can take that negative situation and find the positive, because in my mind, there's always something positive in a situation, oh, well, at least blank, right? I always try to look at the positive side of things, and that really helps me just lead an overall positive life in general, because I don't get upset about many things, because I do try to see the positive in every situation. But I think that's what I would say.
And Natalie, I want to ask you this. Um, if you can go ahead and if people want to follow you, I would love for you to give your Instagram out again, how they can contact you, how they can follow you.
Yeah.
Anybody that's sponsoring you, you can welcome to put that out there. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So my Instagram again, it's Gains by Goldstone. Gains like muscle gains by Goldstone. And I mean, I'm wearing one of my brands right now, Junk Headbands. They have a bunch of super cool headbands, perfect for getting your hair out of your face and also keeping the sweat out of your eyes, which I love. Super great brand, really fun designs. So that's one of the brands I work with as well. I have a link in my bio with other brands I work with. A legging and athletic wear company called Paragon. I would consider it like the next Lululemon, but cheaper. It's cheaper, but it's just so soft, and they're very good as well. Um, and I have some other brands in there as well, so you can always click the link in my bio. Maybe some discount codes are in there, so you can use them.
I love it. And the best way to get a hold of you is through Instagram, correct?
Yeah. Just DM me.
And I want you to also plug this. I know if people are want to learn about jump roping and they have a meetup group, is that can people find that online as well?
Yes. So you can follow me. You can follow. We have a Instagram for that community, Jump Flow LA, Jump Flow Los Angeles. So we post a lot of stuff on there, but also by following me, I repost a lot of their stuff. So if you can't find them, there's that. And then there's also Slush Ropes. She posts a lot, not only for her brand, but for, our community as a whole as well. So those are, but Jump Flow LA is our community account.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Natalie, thank you so much for coming on.
I had a blast.
Yeah, you're such a good person and such a positive, good human. And that's what I love, having wonderful people on the podcast. I'm so lucky because everybody that's been on this podcast are just outstanding, amazing, good quality people.
Love
And
that.
you're one of them.
That's
So
amazing. Thank you
thank
so much.
you. Yes, thank you so much. And,
Of course.
have a really, really great night. Thank you, everybody. Until next time with another amazing guest. And we're probably going to pull Natalie back sometime. to do another podcast.
I'm
In the
blushing.
meantime, yes, in the meantime, keep learning, everybody. Good night.